Hey Queens, welcome back to another episode of Captivation Radio. Today's episode is going to discuss what divine feminine energy is, how to embody the divine feminine energy that is inside all of us, and why it is so important. So let's start with what is divine feminine energy. A woman in her feminine energy is an oracle, a healer. She has a deep spiritual connection through her understanding and comfortability with her emotions. She expresses herself from her heart, acts with confidence, and trusts spirit to guide her. Feminine energy is flowing and dynamic. Her moves cannot be explained with logic. She is unrestricted from social norms. She attracts what she wants. She doesn't need to seek anything out. She is captivating, she is magical, she is powerful, and her strength comes from her soul. And you don't have to be spiritual necessarily, or be a woman to tap into this energy. Your divine feminine energy is about being authentic and only doing things that are in alignment with your values and your life path. So no matter what your spiritual beliefs, you can still use this energy. We all have feminine and masculine energies inside of us. I know in our society it's really like men should be masculine, women should be feminine, but we all have both inside of us, and they should be in balance in order to really have a good life. You want to have a balance of both. And since we live in a patriarchal society, we're often conditioned to believe that the masculine energy is more powerful than the feminine. Logic is championed over intuition. We're taught to work harder and longer if we want more success. And this is one of the reasons that women who were once really strong and confident, like when they were young, seem to lose this as they get older. Women have been conditioned to believe that their natural way of being is weak, silly, crazy, etc. And a lot of times this is happening at a completely subconscious level, because if you hear the same messaging, see the same messaging throughout your life, it becomes ingrained in the way that you do things, in the way that you perceive yourself. So as you observe these things, you begin to change to fit in with the people around you, because at a subconscious level, everybody just wants to be connected. Everybody wants to fit in and find their place. And falling into these things is one of the ways that we do that. But then there comes a point that women realize their life isn't happening by design. Their life is really just happening to them. I've talked to so many women who suddenly discover that they have no idea who they are because they spent so much time going through the motions and doing things the right way that they lost touch with themselves and who they truly are. A woman in touch with her divine feminine energy, on the other hand, knows exactly who she is. And she does things her own way. And these women are often judged by a society that cannot understand them or control them. And it might even be people that you love and care about that just, once you start to really embody this energy, they just can't understand it. They probably don't like it at first. It's definitely an adjustment, because a woman in her feminine energy is so powerful, and that's so scary to some people. And despite common misconceptions, feminine energy is extremely powerful. And this energy may trigger others who do not understand it or who aren't in touch with their own feminine energy. Because there's like the healed feminine energy and the wounded energy. And the wounded energy is really like you haven't healed some part of yourself, you're not okay with some part of your feminine energy. Therefore, when you see it in other people, it triggers you. And I have seriously been in situations where I have felt other women being repelled by my energy versus other women that are also in that same place are drawn to that energy. So you can really tell where people are at with their own lives and their own comfortability with themselves and their self-acceptance journey, depending on how they react to you once you have accepted yourself and once you really own that energy. It's a big difference between competition and collaboration. A woman in her divine feminine energy is a collaborator. She wants to see other women succeed. That is a woman's true nature, is to work with other women and help them succeed. But, society doesn't like that. Competition is more beneficial for the patriarchy, So, how can you connect with your divine feminine energy? If this is not something that you're familiar with, you really want to learn it, because I highly suggest, if you're not familiar with it, you start to learn about it and you start to do these practices, and it really will change your life and the way that you look at things and the way that you look at yourself. So how can you connect with it? The most important thing about being in your divine feminine energy is trusting your intuition. So you have to learn to connect with your intuition using whatever methods work for you. So the method used isn't really the important part. You can use whatever you want. And the important part is to learn to be open and receptive to the messages that are all around you. The first step, though, is you really have to be open to it. You have to believe that it's possible to receive messages from outside yourself or from your higher self or whatever. You have to be open to that. And then when the messages come in, you have to listen, which can be hard to do at first. And you want to start with this first thing in the day. When you start your morning connecting with your intuition, you're going to act more intentional all throughout the day. And this could be through meditation or journaling or whatever. Currently, I'm in a group program and we're working with tarot and the moon cycle. So every morning I have a journal prompt and I pull a card, and then I write my response based on the card that I pulled, the moon cycle, like what house the moon is in for me. And these actions really are getting me back on track of tuning into my intuition first thing in the morning, because summer was crazy. It's chaotic, and I was getting out of my routine and I was getting out of touch with my intuition, and that's not like me. But I was really, just this last year and a half and then crazy summer on top of it, really can put you out of your normal routine. So then you might need somebody to help you get back into it. And that's what I'm doing right now. And that helps me, getting tuned in first thing in the morning, helps me be intentional throughout the entire day instead of just rushing through the day. Because how often do you just like, okay, I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do this. But you're not really living if you're just going from one step to the next and not observing anything in between, not feeling anything in between, never being present in the moment that you're in, because you have to worry about the next moment. So I highly suggest starting something in the morning. And a lot of people ask me what routine is right for them. Like, can you tell me what to do in the morning, minute by minute, so I can do it too? Like, I want to do what you do. But then I have to irritate people and give them my answer, which is there's no one right way to schedule your life. What works for me might not work at all for you. And what works for me on a good day isn't gonna work if I didn't sleep well or if I'm extremely stressed out. Each person, each day is different. The best thing I can tell you is start your day with activities that make you feel good, and then experiment with what helps you perform at an optimal level. Like for me, I absolutely have to wake up before everyone else. If I wake up and people in my house are already awake, it kind of throws me off, because I need quiet in the morning. I need to be able to do what I want in the morning without any interruption. I need to be alone in the morning. I have a big family and it's important for me to be alone in the morning. And some days that means I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna work out before everyone gets up, and some days I'm just going to, like I said, do my journal prompts and stuff. I always try to do some kind of journal prompts in the morning no matter what, but some days there'll be workouts too. because working out for me is a good way to channel my intuition, because I am kind of hyperactive in my mind, so I have to be doing something in order to distract my mind so I can like hear my intuition, if that makes sense. If you have a hyperactive mind like me, you'll understand. So you just have to figure out what works for you. Like, you might need to get up and drink tea and sit quietly and meditate. You might need to work out. You might need to go for a walk. You might need to just do whatever. Listen to music that makes you happy. Like, I know people get up and take a cold shower, which I think is crazy, but if that works for you, then do it. You gotta do whatever works for you. And then you have to make time for yourself. The divine feminine energy is a nurturing energy, but it requires you to nurture yourself first, which I know is hard, right? So that means you have to do regular self-care. And I'm not just talking about bubble baths. Again, self-care is so much more than that. It's about doing the tough stuff too. And you have to have healthy boundaries. Okay? If you fail to set boundaries, this is when we get burnt out and we begin to fall back in that routine of just going through the motions. So set the boundaries. Stop letting everyone take every ounce of your energy from you. It's okay to not answer the phone. It's okay not to message back right away, or ever, depending on who it is. And it's okay to just stop doing things that don't bring you joy. There's nothing that you have to do. You can just stop doing things that you hate doing. No matter how long you've done them for, you can stop. You come before anyone else. Do you understand that? And you really have to believe that in order to enforce it. Like, you come first, you're number one priority, and after you've done the things that you need to do for yourself, then if you have time and energy left, you can give to other people. If not, then they'll just have to wait until you are energetically available for them, and that's okay. And next, you need to connect with your body. So stop hating the things about yourself. You are perfect the way you are. For real. You are perfect. Just how you are. And I know it's all easier said than done, but stop being so damn hard on yourself. Start doing things to honor your body. Eat right. Drink enough water. Get some movement in. And it can be as simple as taking some time to stretch when you first wake up, or stretch before you go to bed. It doesn't have to be that you spend 2 hours working out. We just have to move our bodies. However that looks for you, just move your body and make it feel good. What feels good for you? Do that. Just do something. Take your time and put your lotion on when you get out of the shower. Like, take care of yourself. Do whatever feels good for you, and remember that your body is here to support you. It's the vessel getting you through life, so you have to love it. Even on days that you don't like it, you still have to love it. And the next thing is to stop judging yourself and other people. So stop judging your feelings, stop judging your desires, all the things. Just stop. If your heart desires something, it's for a reason, even if it makes no logical sense. Because the divine feminine is not about logic. That's the masculine's job. And sometimes you just have to follow your heart. And this also means you can show up however you want to in the world. You don't have to look a certain way to be in a certain career. You can wear what you want. You can do your makeup how you want. You can do your hair how you want. You can just be who you want to be. Like, seriously, just be like the girl you wish you were when you were a teenager. You can be that girl right now today. Just show up and be her. I tell my kids all the time, like, there was a time that I tried to be a little bit more conform to society. Not much, a little bit. I'm not much for conforming. But now I embrace my 16-year-old self every day with my wide leg jeans and crop tops. And I don't care if the other moms look at me like I'm insane because I'm not wearing cardigans. It's not my thing. I'm going to be who I want to be. And other part of that is you have to stop judging other people too. Because the judgment we place on others, we ultimately also place on ourselves. So if you want people to stop judging you, you want to stop judging you, then you need to stop judging other people. Especially for silly things like what people want to look like. I don't really understand as a society why we care so much about what other people want to look like. Like, it doesn't affect us in any way at all, but it is one of the most common things that people talk about, and I don't understand. I don't care what people want to look like. If they're happy, I'm all for it. And when you stop judging people, I promise you're going to be happier. They'll be happier, you'll be happier, we'll all be happier. Now the question that often comes up is, okay, I'm embodying this energy. I know I am a queen. I am a goddess. I know that I attract everything my heart desires. I am magnetic. I am captivating. I feel it all, and that I'm supposed to feel super powerful, right? Why am I suddenly so emotional? Okay, so dropping into your feminine energy when it has been suppressed for a long time can bring up a lot of emotions because you've been suppressing the emotions. They didn't go anywhere. You were just putting them in a box somewhere, which is so unhealthy. And now all of the parts of yourself that you suppressed all this time are finally being allowed to come into the light. And now this is eliciting feelings that you're not used to because you've been hiding them and avoiding processing them for however long. For some of you, it's been like 20 years since you let yourself feel your real feelings. And you're going to have to get them out. It's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not weak because you have feelings. Emotions are not something to be ashamed of. There is no reward for being cold-hearted and treating people like crap, okay? There's nothing good about that. So feel your feelings. Don't dwell in them for eternity, but feel them, move them through your body, and move on, okay? And I want you to remember that every change that we make in our life ripples out into the collective. So as we heal ourselves, as we accept ourselves, we create space for other people to do the same thing. And that is beautiful. Just by helping yourself, you can show how many other people that they can do the same thing. And how many people really, really need to see that it can be done. That they can live in alignment, they can be their authentic self no matter how weird they are, and they can be powerful and have everything that they want, and they can see that through you. So I want you to go out and do something to tap into your intuition this week. Really start to embody that feminine energy. Stop trying to be like that masculine hustler, because you don't have to do all that. There's a time and a place for it, and then there's a time and a place to just be magnetic and captivating. And I know you all can be, so I want to see some more of it. I love you all, and thank you so much for listening again this week, and I will be back here next week. Bye.